Soul mirrors, you have arrived. Wake up and travel beyond the illusion. What is the mirror of your life reflecting around you now, and what does it mean? Master Lady Kira Raa leads you on a journey of enlightened perspectives as she weaves together the elements waiting to be revealed and often not seen. A fascinating and dynamic hour that will leave your heart smiling and your soul singing. And of course, Kira Raa's famous mini soul readings. Be sure to call in. And now, here is Master Lady Kira Raa.
And namaste, everyone, and welcome to Soul Mirrors. I am Master Lady Kira Raa, broadcasting to you live here at beautiful Tosa Blue Mountain Sanctuary in Ecuador. And I want all of you in this moment, before we go any further tonight, can we all just bring our hands to our heart right now? Because I have something I really want to share with you. And I'm so grateful that we are here together right now. And I'm going to talk about this a little more later. However, my angels, right now, do you have water to drink? I'm just curious. Are you drinking a beverage? Do you have a home? Are you enjoying the comforts of all of that? Because tonight, Shri and myself and beautiful Jane Britton and Erin over in California, we're aware of the fact that many people today in Cuenca lost all of that. They lost their homes due to severe flooding. They've lost the ability to have water to, clean water to drink and the availability. And so the water bearers doing what they do so well have already jumped into action, already delivering filters, already on the scene, and we need your help. And so please, right now, write this down, thewaterbearers.org. I want you to go there, right on the homepage. You're going to see it right there. Shri and I are going to show you a little bit more later on. If you've ever been to Cuenca, if you've ever visited our beautiful city, if you've ever enjoyed the love of these people, help us help them right now, because it's a critical time of need and these donations are needed right now. And so thank you for letting me share this with you. I could not move further into tonight's show without first inviting your heart to ignite and to really honor the flow that is upon us. And that when that flow comes, are we ready? My heart is really looking, and I know yours is too, at the incredible dynamic energy that's running around our world right now. We are at a moment where this ascended Kundalini is a flexing energy, and our beautiful god of Mercury has already started making its first appearance. And tonight, the most amazing and wonderful wisdom teacher, Sri Ram Ka, will be joining me, because we have so much to unpack from what we started delivering on Sunday that we literally had to continue that journey with you right now. I also want to share with you that our call board this evening, we are working just with the Oneness Talk Radio call board, because it's the one we know we can all come together at. So please make a note, write down this number, 517-208-1500. Again, that's 517-208-1500. And tonight especially, hey, if you have a question about your ascended Kundalini rising or anything that Shri and I will be talking about, when you're at that call board, press *5 to let us know that you have a question. And so my angels, thank you for the gift of you being here right now. And as we come together, as this moment comes forward, the question before us all is fear or what? Love, trust. This energy, I want to put up for you a chart. Let's see. There it is. All right. This is the 7 polarities chart. And Shri and I have been putting this up for the past 2 weeks. For those of you that may just be seeing this for the very, very first time, this chart was put out by us in 2015 when we taught it. We taught this chart. We taught the class. We literally filled it in as we went through this class. This was a very profound revelation. And this program, this home study program is still at our website, the 7 polarities of free will, if you really want to understand the depth of this. And at the time we put it out, we were putting out the vast potentialities that were playing out. And what I want to bring your attention to is at the top in the gray there, where it says there is the force of destruction, which comes in through that density energy, and that is fear. So that is the polarity. You have the force of destruction as one end of that polarity. And in this density, in this 2015 through 2022 period, it's all about fear. And then you have the force of co-creation. And during this time, it's very much about self-ascension. It's about how do we get out of density? We lift our consciousness above that which seeks to keep us limited. And the energy of these years has been about trust. So I want you to go to 2020, just skip right ahead. And if you look at last year, it was a huge rise. Now remember, we put this out in 2015. So, this was at that time would have been considered a prediction. And if you look through the whole chart, literally what was not a prediction was the density energy, the ascended energy, and the chakra affiliation. So in the middle, those three columns were they were just not a prediction. It was a cycle that was put in motion to prepare us for next year. And so I'm sharing this with you. If you look down at the bottom, you will see that this year right now is about lack or abundance. What is facing you? What is in your life right now? Is it lack or abundance? And we have all arrived at our 7th chakra experience collectively. How exciting is that? So what that means, that we have all arrived at that 7th chakra collective experience. And this is what I love about our beautiful Mercury here. You see his arm that's, flexing into us. This Mercury retrograde, where the pre-phase began on Friday, is about revival. It's about the revival. So I invite you, what's the dream you let go of? When did you lose your trust? And are you ready to revive it into your life? My beautiful stepdad, many of you who know me know that I've said this, my beautiful Elliot, who transitioned a few years ago, he was really the only father type figure I ever knew. And he taught me so many things. And the one thing that he taught me the best, and I was in my mid-20s when he came into my life. So that's when I had the blessing of learning it. Wish I would have learned it earlier. And it was so simple. He just said, remember, never trust those who do not trust. And I will share with you that I had no idea how profound that wisdom would be and how much it would guide the rest of my life. It actually helped me ignite. Because when we lose our trust, what we're really saying is, I don't trust myself. Thereby, I am not trustworthy. It's a self-imposed hell, isn't it? To live where you have no trust at all. And we're at a moment right now where, because of those 7 polarities of free will that had to play out, they had to play out. All that's happened is the balance shifted. And that's why we're here now, isn't it? To help restore balance. So in this moment, as the energy of trust is in front of you, for those of you that are aware of Archangel Zadkiel and that have been more familiar with our work, you know that Archangel Zadkiel says what? I know some of you at home are already saying this, right? Trust and love are the exact same energy in the divine realms. It's only in density that we think they're different, or that we have added some form of separation to them. And so this evening, in just a moment, I'm going to bring in my beautiful husband, and we're going to talk about this ascended Kundalini and what's happening. And we're going to explain and share with you the depth of what is happening through this experience of the ascended Kundalini, the depth of the trust that is required to be able to, and I'm going to put up that chart one more time, and I want to dare you not to fixate on the bottom left. A lot of people write me and they go, "Oh my God, Kira, World War III." Stop fixating. World War III is what? Look at the rest of the column there, right? It is a lack of resources, gas, food, water. It will be a rise in authoritarianism and power through ever stronger dogma. It's kind of like a doubling down and intimidation, right? And remember, this chart, I wrote this in 2015. And so now, and it was not me, of course. These, like I said, these two columns on either side, these were the ones that would have been considered to be the revelations or the predictions. But the reason they were put out was to show you, look at the other side, right? Look where we are right now. I mean, how exciting is this? Planetary harmony. So what does planetary harmony looks like? It means that we look at our shared resources. Together we are better, right? We enter into all that we're doing with joy-filled spirit, not the emotional joy, the joy of knowing we're doing it because it's just the right thing to do. And it's life enhancing, it's life affirming. And so are you in your own World War III with yourself? Are you living in an energy of lack? Is your wide open seventh crown showing you lack because you're unable to call forward your own divine vision of your mastery presence? This is a big moment, and it's why the Ascended Kundalini has come forward. It's why all of these experiences are happening. It's an invitation. Let us not forget, and then I want to bring in my beautiful, beloved husband to expand this. But let us not forget that it is because we have not ever taken our consciousness this far, ever. And I know that can be really challenging to wrap around, my loves. It's just what it is. If we can step into the presence of our infinite self, then in this moment, what we know is our infinite nature is ever expanding. And so I want you to trust in that and feel the creation of that energy. And I want to welcome in my beautiful, beloved wisdom teacher, Sri Ram Khan.
Okay, let me not show just my back.
Okay, no. I have him tripping over the chair. We're going to sit. All right, Kira's bad. Let's sit, baby. All right. As we have mentioned, our studio is not quite as voluminous as we would enjoy it to
Hey,
be.
we got 2 chairs and a monitor. We're good.
And each other, right? I mean, I'm loving that. I don't know about you. So, my angel, thank you for being here
I'm glad
tonight.
to be here.
I'm so happy you're here.
Thanks for the tea.
You're very welcome because we have water. And so I know I opened up the show, but please, do we have something we can show them? I would like to mention again that, you know, working with the water bearers has been one of the greatest honors I have ever called in for, and Sri and I and all of you have called forward, and that experience is expanding. There's more happening. Didn't we put it already up, honey? You put up, it was in here, sweetie.
Yeah,
you called it
I got
water
a new
bearers? Oh, you got a new one. Okay. So we want to show you right now a couple different things. So first of all, oh, wow. This just in. Okay. Let me
just share with you what's
remember
up.
that if you have ever been to Cuenca, if you've ever been here to Tosa Blue Mountain, if your heart is open to helping, today, this is happening right now. Our beloved Amanda could not get back to Cuenca tonight. So of course we get to have her here. This is Cuenca. This is Cuenca. Right now, it was a very amazing flight. And you see right in front of that bus, that's the top of a car. And so it gives you an idea of what's happening and how serious this is.
So one of the things I want to call forward, there's always a paradox at work.
Right.
And the flooding that's happening here is unexpected. And
very.
And
once in 100-year kind of stuff.
Yeah, and we're not the only place on the globe that have had challenges. The thing is that when the challenges come to your attention, are you willing to take some action?
Yeah. And so let's put this up. So I want you guys, look right here. This is what's going on. This is at thewaterbearers.org. Thewaterbearers.org. And this, as soon as you get there, you're going to see on the homepage something that looks very similar to this. These are pictures from today. That is someone's home that you're seeing there. And many people have lost their homes. There is a video when you arrive at this page that you can see more. And so Everything helps. And again, I just want to commend the water bearers that were really kind of the first on the scene helping with all of this. Jane reached out to me immediately and said, "Can you help?" I was like, "Absolutely." Yeah. And you can see that this fundraiser that Jane just opened a few hours ago. There's only $100 in there. We need to find 10,000. Let's help reach that goal.
Yeah, water is so essential. And this would say it's kind of a paradox when we have a flood, but it's not safe for drinking. And so
No. And especially if you've lost your home on top of everything else.
People need filtration and water while they rebuild their lives. So we appreciate your help.
And we thank you for that. And especially since, and I just want to, Sheree, I want to touch in again. So I've been talking about Mercury. We just hit that Mercury pre-phase and this ascended Kundalini energy, especially this week. Let us not forget that what is Mercury? Mercury is the god of financial success, the god of your dream messages manifesting, of that receptivity of the message, being able to clearly receive. And so we're in a profound moment of incredible manifestation. And everything's manifesting. Everything is reviving. And the other gift of this is that Mercury is already making sure we're laughing our way through it, because I don't know about you guys, but all the other Mercury stuff, it's there, but we're not going to talk about it. And the reason we're not going to talk about it is because we're not giving that energy. It's very much like the 7 polarities chart, right? What are you offering your energy to right now? Right now.
Consider for a moment a few fundamental facts.
Right.
Everything is energy.
Everything.
However, we densify in order to align and perceive and have an experience here in Earth School. And so as we densify, well, go ahead.
Can I show it? Okay, because
up there.
As Sri was saying, I was like, okay, so what Sri is sharing is also what I always like to point to as the validation of everything that I've been putting out in the calendar that we've been sharing with you. And this is that, here's what Einstein said, everything is energy, and that's all there is to it. Match the frequency of the reality you want, and you cannot help but get that reality. You just have to match the frequency. And this goes up or down lateral, right? Because it can be no other way. And it's not philosophy, it's physics. And then concerning matter, okay, attention
matter.
Please. So concerning matter, we've been all wrong. I love this, right? What we have called matter is energy whose vibration has been so lowered as to be perceptible to the senses. There is no matter. Not woo-woo, Einstein.
And so consider then, if everything is frequency,
right?
Your experience it's like an accordion. We can be squishing them all together and have just the heaviest of boom. Okay, I felt that.
There it is.
And then as we lift, there's an aroma in the air. There's a subtlety that is lifting me, and inviting joy and outreach. So as we grow as beings, we learn how to work with the energy, because consciousness intersects with energy.
There it is.
And that is the alchemy for creation. Consciousness plus energy can manifest something.
Right.
And so what are you manifesting? And that leads us to what we're talking about today. But before we do, I just had a joyful little, what do we call it? Incident.
Oh, it's a shreecident. Okay, it's a shreecident. I want to hear it.
And I was walking a little bit today on this beautiful property that we're privileged to be the stewards.
The custodians of, yeah.
And Tosa Blue Mountain here in the Andes Mountains. And
we're so blessed.
We're at a really comfortable altitude, about 7,500 feet.
Yeah.
And it's
really safe.
Beautifully safe. A beautiful, beautiful
Built
area.
Built into bedrock.
This particular mountain we're on is the home of a million-year-old temple. Ancient connections to our forefathers, our cosmic
really, it looks a lot like this. I've been trying to start showing it. There it is.
And one of the things that I've enjoyed is the longer that Kira and I have been here, the higher the frequency of the land. And I asked myself, how is it that this land is lifting? And so one answer, that my mind offers is, well, because energy everywhere is lifting.
Right.
And then I got to realizing the land is lifting in part because we are here loving it, radiating the purity to it. And I go, what is the it we're radiating to? The mountain. And so I have a piece of the mountain
Oh,
to
this is
show you.
so beautiful. No, wait. So I didn't know it was that walk. So I was with him. We walked up to a very sacred place. This is right. We have a beautiful, we have many pine forests here as well, up higher on the mountain. So we were up in one of those pine forests, and Shri was having a wonderful time. We discovered a massive wall.
Yeah.
I mean, every time we're up there, we find something else. Look what he found.
So now this is I'll quote rock.
You see, it's solid quartz.
Take a look.
We are literally living on a mountain of crystals.
So the bedrock is
crystal.
alive because silicone-based form has consciousness.
You gotta come get a crystal, right?
Has consciousness.
Right?
And this is one of the things
I
why so
know.
many of us, we love our crystals, right?
And now we're living
We love our crystals
in the
because
crystal bed.
they radiate an energy back to us. And this is part of the lesson in learning and discernment.
so wonderful.
Is everything is energy.
Right?
Well, crystals are magnifiers and generators of energy, and they respond to you and your energy. And so, while this one is a water clear quartz from the
That's a Lumerian.
Ural Mountains in Russia,
Yeah.
this is a quartz from Tosa
Blue Mountain in Ecuador.
Ecuador.
And there's so much of it. And so it's really beautiful. And I wish I could show you better in the lights because you can't see. There is clarity in here. There's
It's a matrix,
it's a beautiful matrix. And this is the blessing of Gaia. This is the blessing of understanding the Einstein. As a matter of fact, I want to put that up again because here's what's really important to remember around that, especially as we have this moment before us. Remember, what is that, the Einstein-Rosen bridge or the wormhole? What is it showing? It's showing us the torus field of concentric dimensionality and spiral time. And if you look right in the middle there, that is the 0 point generator. Remember that it is our consciousness that holds open that framework of support. And how do we hold that open? Steadfast commitment, focused awareness, and complete trust, going back to my beautiful stepdaddy there, right? It's all about it.
And so I want to bring your attention. Just remember that it's like a funnel with a tube and a funnel. And the energy goes out, circulates, and comes back to the center.
It's awesome.
That's the torus. Yes. Well, now where are you on the torus?
Right.
Are you out in the wings or are you in the center?
Exactly.
Because that framework of support, and that is a truth about how energy flows. And here's a picture that shows two beings starting to sharing the energy.
So
field.
you see, they each are their whole being. That's two torsion fields there. And many people ask us, well, how have you and Shri stayed together for so long? How are you guys what is sacred union? Sacred union is two whole beings sharing the steadfast commitment, the focused awareness, and the complete trust that then ignites that framework of support. And that framework of support is basically, like, the way I like to describe it is, imagine those diamonds are the lotus that's holding you, that your torus field. And so you become literally the 0 point generator of the law of instantaneous manifestation. And this is where the Ascendant Kundalini comes in and where we're at right now.
Yes. So it all ties together.
Yes.
All of this energy that we've been talking about, and energy plus consciousness. Well, and the crystalline matrix that actually is throughout Gaia, but more concentrated in different places. So it offers that reflection back. What is it that we all seem to love?
Yeah.
Pure energy.
There it is.
Pure energy.
There it is.
Energy that has not been conditioned or contaminated by a coarser emotion.
Right.
Coarser emotions include anger and fear. And so there's a lot of that kind of energy running around.
Right.
But the quartz energy is very similar to the energy that is running up and down your spine. And I suggest to you, one of the reasons that most of us really enjoy crystals is it's a little reflection of what is our essential energy.
There it is.
So this Kundalini rising,
Right?
whoa, let's talk about this for a second.
And I want to jump in and say we've got plenty of people sitting on the call board right now waiting, and I do see some hands up already as well. So remember, you can call in right now, get in the queue. There's not a lot of lines left. We're almost full. 517-208-1500. And if you have an Ascended Kundalini question after Sri and I are done chatting about that, we will be taking you first when we get to the call lines, and you got to press star 5.
Okay.
So let's go ahead, Sri. Sorry about that. That was my PSA.
So, I think a lot of us have been exposed to what I would call traditional New Age understandings.
I'm sorry. Bad Kira.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Okay, we can go
that
with
was fun.
Yes.
Okay.
And traditional yoga understandings, because
Beautiful. All
a
beautiful.
lot of the Eastern traditions and the classic yoga from Hindu teachings kind of infiltrated the new thought and movements and the New Age
Very
movements.
beautifully helped ignite and open a lot of minds.
Absolutely. And so much truth and beauty
Exactly.
resides in those.
Yeah.
However, what I'm getting at is there is a teaching about Kundalini. And a lot of people believe that the Kundalini is really meant to ignite a tantric reality, a tantric knowing. Other people believe, no, the Kundalini is meant to open you up to your God communion. Now, all of this is valid and lovely. The key is what happens when energy rises up your spine is you have an opportunity to visit every preoccupation that you've invested your life force in. So it isn't just this, glorious energy. It's also a fire that burns that which is unneeded, outgrown. And many people find that when the Kundalini rises, there's a moment of whoa, and that moment can last months. Okay, this is not just a boom, it happened. This can be a whole period of your life.
Yeah.
But there's a fire that cleanses that which is unlike your spiritual nature, meaning your fear-based traumas and the rest of it. And if you're not ready for the healing, if you're not ready to say, okay, I'm going to dedicate my life at this time to my spiritual and emotional and physical healing, then what happens is there is an inner dynamic of conflict.
Yeah.
Okay, now I'm still talking about the traditional Kundalini. So in that sense, for when it works well, it lifts, it opens, people have experiences, connections,
Beautiful.
and recognitions
Remember?
that can be life-changing.
Yeah.
Cool. Love it. Well, what are we talking about today?
We're talking about the Ascended Kundalini.
Exactly. Which is a whole nother level.
Exactly. And let's talk about how we got here. I want to show you one thing again. So I'm going to go back to the 7 polarities chart because this is where it's important to understand where we're at. So if you look at the middle here, the chakra affiliation and the density energies, we have cycled through from 2015 to 2021, literally on a planetary level, along with a collective individual, along with the personal individual. Each being has had to revisit all of these chakras on our way to where we are right now. So you say, what's going to happen in 2022 if we're at the crown? Where are we going? Well, we're all going to go back to the root. However, you're going to have a completely different chakra system moving through the next 12 years. And that is the ascended chakra system. And so when we go from this year, from 2021 into 2022, it will be the first time that there's going to be such a vast shift, because what's going to happen is if you're in density consciousness, you are plummeting back and having to start all over again. So 2022 is going to be all about shutting down everything you can because you're so afraid and you're so engrossed and entrenched. And so that's going to be the first thing, is that you'll either, after we've been in the crown, your option will be to either go really slam shut into the root, and remember, this is already happening. That energy influence is already there. Or your root will be the ascended heart, which means you're going to come to the ascended heart, which is why the ascended Kundalini has started rising now, because the ascended Kundalini ignites the body of form, calls in your limitless nature, restores the physical form through the trust in the mastery presence, because the ascended Kundalini rising is a call to really walk through those borderlands of sanity again. It's a call to say, can you? And your body will have a direct, intense response based upon your level of resistance, doubt, fear. What I have learned, what Shri has learned, what others around us are learning through this ascended Kundalini integration is that once you make that firm commitment that your root center is your ascended heart, thereby you are living in the energy of the divine galactic blueprint, then the physical body will start literally realigning itself. And based upon what has been out of alignment, there are absolutely physical experiences of this. And it is how we meet them that continues the journey.
Consciousness meeting energy. And so I want to reiterate.
Please.
Thank you. It was very concise. The traditional Kundalini worked with beings in density to illuminate them as to their divine potential and connection.
And awesomely so.
The ascended Kundalini begins at the root chakra of the ascended state, which is the heart.
The heart.
The heart is the foundation of who we are as spiritual beings. And as that energy, the recognition is in the crown, we have the opportunity to revisit what is required for healing at a more subtle level.
Yep.
And to reorient ourselves as cosmic beings versus the traditional Kundalini, I'm a human being having a spiritual experience. The ascended Kundalini is I am a cosmic being in service to
exactly
the physical as well as the divine cosmos.
Exactly. And, I want to show you guys this right here. This is the pyramid of spiritual awakening overlaid with the multidimensional experience. And if you look, see in the middle, all the way down in density consciousness where we're all born into, and there's that beautiful flare, right? There's that illumination right there that if you look going all the way up, that's what we lovingly refer to as the joy portal.
Yes.
And that is, if you look right where it says spiritual activism, go just above it, and you see right on the line there between spiritual activism and ascension awareness is that opening. That's where the ascended Kundalini comes in. The ascended Kundalini will activate when you have crossed the threshold from spiritual activism into ascension awareness, and it becomes the fuel that propels you into living full ascension consciousness. Because in order to fully anchor, and it's something that Shri and I did not even really fully comprehend until we living it ourselves. In order to anchor in 100% ascension consciousness requires the conscious agreement of the physical body. Mm-hmm. This is that level of conscious experience and consciousness attainment that we have not collectively been to before. So our bodies have no idea how to handle this, which is why it's happening. Lest us not forget that the body and form is the whole reason that consciousness is here. And what we are in the midst of ourselves experiencing is how far can we take our consciousness before we must leave this field of transcendent energy? How far can we take these bodies? That's the big experiment we're all in right now. How far can these bodies go? And what will they do to adapt? And so the ascended Kundalini ignites to say, you are not alone. You are not crazy. You are not alone. And that is so important, because what the Ascended Kundalini does is it ignites dormant DNA that not anyone outside of the you can ignite. No one can do this for you. However, there are practices and tools that can bring you to this moment, and that's what the Yoga of Self-Ascension teaches. And so I want you to breathe into that, because, Shri, should we talk about the spine experience? And
I was just thinking about it, so you were picking up.
So we're going to give you one of the fascinating things that we're witnessing through this really metamorphosizing of accepting and saying yes to the Ascended Kundalini.
The spinal column carries, of course, the nerves and such, but it's also carrying the light energy that is supporting the physical form. So the radiance of your column and then the emanation through the chakras is a nourishing energy. This isn't just a light show. This is part and parcel of the intersection between the light body, the light energy, and form, the physicality. Without that soul in the body would say no more, no mas.
Not a mas.
No mas. Now, as we are lifting and the frequency of that energy lifts ever higher, we're going from 2 Dixie cups and a string to copper wire to fiber optic. Okay.
Right.
and so this communication going up and down the spine is going from it's getting ever higher, ever purer, ever more resonant and laser-like, and the flesh is responding with OMG.
Right.
So
notice what, as Shri's sharing this, just notice what's going on around you or others you may know.
So there's 2 things that I've observed thus far, and I'm sure more will be revealed. One of them is that the spine actually begins to kind of float in the body.
Yeah.
So instead of being rigidly connected, skeletal system connected to tendons, to muscles, and yum, 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 yum. Okay, we're good little earth soldiers. Instead of having that tightness, the spine, it becomes more floaty and fluid because it necessarily must release resistance to that flow of energy. To release resistance is a signal that says, relax. Right? And so the spine becomes a little more floaty. One of the first physical symptomologies of that is going to be pain.
And it will be the entire spine.
And it can be an ache. It can be sharper. There can be areas in some people that are more or less responsive because you have your individual journey.
And so, may I jump in?
Yeah.
Because let's share a few things that you can do for that, and then we're going to get to some of your calls because I see a lot of you are holding. Here's what you need to know is that Shri and I, and specifically me, I've been living with this now for about a year. And what we have discovered, and it was actually my massage therapist who discovered it because it actually kind of freaked him out, is that the way I've been describing it is, what I know is true for me through this experience is, if I exercise every day, I have almost no pain. And I did not get to exercise today because our power was out and I couldn't get on the treadmill. And I'm in pain tonight because of the lack of the mobility of this energy. And so this energy requires a lot of motion, even if you're just sitting in a chair doing this, okay? Also, you want to pay high attention to the part of your spine that's between your shoulder blades and right below the waist. Is it both of those areas primarily? If so, you are being lengthened. I have literally gotten taller. I am 60 years old and I am getting taller. And what I'm noticing with that is that I had a very slight, wasn't too horrible, scoliosis. I was 5'10" and told I could have been as tall as like 5'11 and a half, whatever. And so what we are noticing is that I literally am able to feel that my bones are moving through this energy. And Shri has started photo documenting the physical shift of the spine. So I'm sharing all of this with you for 2 reasons. Reason number 1, because if I was afraid, if I had fear, if I was preoccupied, if I ran to a doctor to take care of this for me. I can only imagine the battery of tests they'd want to do, only to be able to tell me at the end that they have no idea what's happening, right? And that's what's right for me. So I do have a doctor, as you all know, the beautiful Dr. Lorena is here. She has been walking me through this, and she, bless her heart, is aware of energy and is very aware that this is happening outside of what she can diagnose.
Right, outside of her field of experience at
and so
this time.
This is part of that, is the trust. I'm going back to what we talked about all show.
So regardless of whether you're having the spinal ascended Kundalini effects, the energy experience, any ascension energy experience there are some common elements. And the one thing I want to mention about the spine, and it ties to anything, it isn't just spine.
Right.
To the extent that you have fear active in your life,
There it is.
there will be greater discomfort.
Yep.
Because the fear is a coarser energy that is incompatible with the purity of this ascension energy,
Exactly.
or the purity of this light energy. And there is, a vibration that occurs. And when there is vibration and tightness, there's discomfort in the physical.
Yeah.
And so the good news is, if you're feeling the discomfort, it's time to breathe into whatever healing work needs to be done to liberate that energy. Pain is a coagulation of energy. All it's asking for is love me.
There it is.
Just love me.
Love me. And when you love me more, right? When you love you more, you lift up. It is our compassion, fifth dimension, releasing judgment, seventh dimension. Beauty all around. And so, Shri, I'm going to go grab one of our callers over here that has a hand up. And so we're first going to run to Kansas City. Hey, Kansas City, hand up. Question for Shri. Welcome.
Hello?
Hi, sweetheart. Welcome.
Hi. I have a question about my dog.
Okay.
I would like to know if there's something strange going on with my dog. And she is scared shitless. And this just been happening last like a month or so or something, maybe even longer. But she sees something and she shivers and is scared and she just pees and hides.
Yeah, so breathe.
And
yeah, no, thank you for asking. I love that you're actually calling this evening and asking this question right now, because really the Ascended Kundalini is affecting all. Many of us are noticing dramatic shifts in our animals.
Yep.
And the animals, and I was just sharing this with Shri last week, when we put out some ascension symptoms a year or so ago, and it was last year, we talked about how the animals are up-leveling. And what's happened is that for those that are sensitive, as you are, the animals are revealing more of who they truly are. Your dog is asking you to command more of the energy around you. Yeah. And so I'm inviting you that when this happens the next time, if you have not already, I strongly encourage you to sit, focus in the area where your dog was focused, and command that only the light be. Period. Only light is welcome here. See, this is the thing that Go ahead.
Yeah. I've done that.
Oh, I'm sorry, honey.
It's okay.
Oh, I'm
Let
sorry.
me just listen for a second. I got one more little thing to add.
And then we've got so many other people. We'll get to them. But here, Shri wants to share.
It's important to recognize that your animals also reflect back to you. Okay.
Yeah.
And so when the animal is uncomfortable or reactive, it's a good time to give it a hug and tune into what it was tuning into and offer the loving energy of reassurance, because you're also offering it to yourself.
Exactly.
Remember the little stuff coming in the corners of your eyes and other interdimensionals.
Right.
If you're not comfortable with that, your animal won't be comfortable with it either.
Yeah. And regardless of whether we're working with our animals or we're working with our family or anyone else, the key is, if we've already tried to say only the light exists here, and that's not working, then we have to start getting honest with ourselves. Usually it's because we're addicted to some form of victim energy. All right, Shri, we've got a lot of unknowns. Which one should we go to?
Ooh.
We're going to go to one of the unknown callers that has their hand up 4 times. All right, unknown caller that has been pressing *5. There it is. It's you. All right. Hey,
Hi.
sweetie. Hi.
It's Solia Soul, my new spiritual name.
Hi.
I would love to have a mini soul reading if you don't mind. I don't have any of the symptoms, so I don't really want to bother Shri.
Well, sweetheart, I'm going to put you on hold because right now we are only taking people that have symptoms questions. So I'll come back to you when we're done. All right, let's go. So please, if you have your hand up and we call on you, it's because we right now are handling Ascension symptom questions, not asking for many soul readings. But we will come back to you that have many soul readings questions. So Shri, we're going to go right here?
Yeah, sure.
All right,
Let's
so
go
it looks
New
like we're
Jersey.
going to New Jersey. Hey, New Jersey, namaste.
Oh, namaste. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome.
Could I have a mini soul reading, please?
No, you cannot. I'm sorry, honey. I'm sorry. We're gonna hang up. Go ahead. So, okay.
I guess that wasn't
I guess
clear
that
to everyone.
I'm sorry. Let me just. Can you say it? Maybe because I'm saying it, they don't believe me.
Well, what we wanted to do was address any ascension symptoms, especially the Kundalini rising kinds of symptoms. First were people who raised their hands. So
if you've raised your hand, and I'm sorry, we're saying it again.
star 5 is how you do it.
Star 5, raising your hand means you have a question about an ascension symptom. All right. We're going to go to Cleveland, Ohio. I pray we have a question. We have another raised hand. Hey, Cleveland, namaste.
Namaste, Sri and Kira. Yes, I have an ascension symptom question, if I may.
Please.
And it's thank you. And it's interesting you've been talking about the spine because I have been going to a chiropractor, and I wonder if there's an alternative to that. But I've noticed that exactly that area right behind the heart in the back, and it was about an inch to the right. And I actually went today, and the chiropractor said it was related to the hip being out of alignment. But I'm feeling there's more. I would love to learn more, your insight.
Thank you for asking. And I think, Shri, you should really, and which hip, right, left, or was it just the hips in general? Right hip. Okay. Do you want to jump in?
No.
Sure. There's, it's an interesting thing. Nothing exists alone. Everything is connected.
We are all.
And so while we may experience a discomfort here, there can be a connection there, wherever the there is. So the first thing to recognize is that area behind your heart. Isn't that what you were talking about?
Right. It's that upper spine between the shoulder blades. Yeah. That's a key area.
Yeah. Well, so you're really dealing with the high heart chakra,
right? Which is the ascended Kundalini, making it stable, right?
So this is creating your home. And so when we make a home, we got to excavate a little bit sometimes to make space. and so
remodel.
I offer this to you because for all of you listening, have a sense of humor about it.
Please.
To be lighthearted in the face of what is an unknown discomfort is one of the first essential attitudes to help it resolve.
Exactly.
So to recognize that the chakras don't just go out the front, they go out the back as well.
Yep.
And oftentimes we're so forward oriented, we don't pay attention to the backside of our chakra system. So here's the gift I want to offer you tonight. The backside, the shoulder blades, this has a lot to do with the resolution of old hurts.
Yeah.
Okay, and the old hurts and griefs. We clean up. Oh no, I trust my life. I forgive and I'm moving forward. But what about what we, is behind us? So I offer you that. The other thing I want to mention about your hip is just consider for a moment that if the hip is a little out of balance, the spine will have a little bit of a curvature. And this is from a traditional chiropractic point of view. If the lower part of our body is out of balance, there will be a reflection in the upper part of the spine as well. Now, why might the hip be out of balance? It's because our life is not balanced between past and present, in between trust and movement, and this ties to the grief in the back of the heart.
It does.
You see where we're going here? And so how can we just skip to the loo and enjoy,
my darling,
enjoy life if we're carrying an old piece,
right?
And so that's just a very general orientation. What I invite you to do is connect to the pain in your spine, breathe into it, and do some journaling.
And sweetheart, the only thing I want to add, and just keep saying, I love me.
Yes.
I love me. I'm amazing, right? Because you are. All right. We love you, sweetheart.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Time for my
Oops.
Okay. Let's go to Woodbury, New Jersey, Shri. Right over here, we have Woodbury, New Jersey.
All right.
Hi there. Namaste. Welcome.
Namaste, Shri and Kira, beloved ones, precious ones. I'm so happy to be with you this evening, and I'm enjoying this wonderful transition of going from one moment to the next to be in the present moment, to excel and rise open our third eye. And that's my question to Shri, is with the Ascension symptoms. I notice that when I feel an elevation in my crown and my third eye, sometimes I get a little foggy. And as soon as I connect and I cleanse and clear, then it opens up again. So I wanted to see what you have to say about that. Would be wonderful.
Whew, and I'm going to jump in when he's done, honey, because wow, when you were talking, wow.
Yeah. Well, your sixth chakra is really a chakra of opportunity for you.
Yeah.
What that means is there are resources that are awaiting your conscious unpacking, revelation. And remember, the sixth chakra, center of the head, it affects your organs of vision. It affects your organs of hearing. It affects your... Yeah, lots. and here's
stuff.
Basket of goodies.
Just put it in there.
The sixth chakra also is about attaining clarity.
There it is.
For your life and who you're meant to be with, meaning your spiritual family.
There it is.
And so when this energy rises, you're kind of dusting off the windscreen and perhaps discovering that there are some energetic pulls to old contracts, old ways that are not going to be of the highest support in the next chapter.
Beautiful.
So tune in with that. God. That's a meditative moment.
Why don't we just breathe that one in? So why don't we just take in a nice deep Ave Sa breath through the nose, right? And what I want to invite you to do in this moment, as you're breathing in that blessing from Shri, is let's just bring our thumb and middle finger, touch, release, touch, release. I want you to activate those central prime energies, let them run. Right? Touch, release, touch, release, touch, release. And then we're going to take another Ave Sa breath together. And I hope all of you are doing this with us. And when we're done, I'm going to invite you to place one of those middle fingers on your third eye and the other on your star consciousness. Because what I saw when you started talking was a massive blockage. And it's like a leftover old thing. And the minute you reactivate these together, it's like a whoosh. And so how beautiful that we're all doing this together. So you feel the energy charging? All right, let's take in a deep Ave Sa breath, breathing in. Sa. Woo! Wow. Yeah. So, okay.
Wow.
Right? Third chakra, star consciousness.
Woo!
Right? And
I feel freedom. I feel heat. I feel expansion. I feel pulsing between my third eye and my crown, like it's like reconnecting.
Yes!
So thank you for this blessing. Oh my gosh, I have heat all up and down, spine, feet, legs, arms, everywhere.
Ascended Kundalini, baby, we love you.
You keep going.
I love you so much.
Thank you. So
Trust yourself. You're on your way.
Namaste. And do that often. It works. Yeah. So, Shri, I do want to share with all of you that if you are ever finding that you are having like a clarity issue, third eye congestion, first of all, have you activated your star consciousness? And, if you don't know about that, YouTube, we have videos on it at our website. It's in our books. But this is your star consciousness right there, right? And so what's happening is that when we, and this is from quantum clairvoyance, the beginning part of our MERPing practice to enter the quantum field, but when we touch, release, touch, release, touch, release, we activate the higher process of our energy body, and especially this one. This is the big one, right? And then when these are fully activated and we touch here, and you'll notice a little pulse, right? Touch, 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 release, touch, release, touch, release. What happens is that the breath is further able to work through and cleanse all the channels. Thereby, we are not limited by that which seeks to limit. And that's what she was so beautifully experiencing. When we break free of our own limited nature, the heat, the joy, the excitement, the fountain, I call it the fountain of stars, right? The fountain of stars that emits from us, because we are, again, I just have to go back to it again, because it really is just so simple and so important. We are the 0 point energy field. And, and I just want to say it again, that match the frequency of the reality you want, and you can't help but get it. And so think about people who hate match that frequency of reality, and people who love match that frequency.
And this is a fundamental insight to a manifestation.
There it is.
When you wish something,
it's a wish.
It's weak. When you know something, it has potency and power. And if we know that we are divine beings, if we know I am the miracle-making presence, our frequency is vibrating at that place of creation.
Yeah.
So to know that we are ascending, to know that we are angels in form, masters in flesh, and here on the earth to serve, creates an abundant flow that everything that is required for our service will appear. Mm-hmm. All that is required will be shown to you.
Yeah. And so, my loves, know that you are the law of instantaneous manifestation. You are the master. You are not alone. You are not crazy. And the planet has finally arrived at the moment that it's ready for you. Please, with all of our heart and soul, go to thewaterbearers.org. Mm-hmm. Pay attention to what's happening. Help us help those who lost their homes today, those who lost their access to clean water, those who have no idea what tomorrow is going to bring. Help them know that love is still what happens for all of us.
We are all connected. Let's take action.
Yeah. We will look forward to seeing you Sunday at Shri and Kira Live. And hey, make sure you've made a note. June 10, 17, and 19. Just put Shri and Kira, and we'll fill that in
later. We got a party happening.
And you're going to want to be there. We love you.
Much love to you all.
Namaste. Thank you for joining us at Shri and Kira Live. To have your questions answered, send us an email to guest@shriandkiraradio.com and check out more information at shriandkira.com. See you next week. Namaste.